And we really do hope that we can be a bright spot in your day, because this fog that has been blanketing Western Washington, it just won't go away. I mean, I'm ready for like the vampires to jump out and all the things. You're a vampire. Luckily, I have my Hot Topics panel to keep me safe. Kelly Hansen, host of Local Lens, and producers Joseph Suttner and Rebecca Perry. Although my friends all say if Vampire Edward jumped out, I'm not sure I'd run to you for help.
Sorry
I'd be like,
Definitely
I got this. It's fine. So what is up with the fog? I mean, just when we think we're done with the fog and it goes away and the sun comes out, it comes back in the morning. Is this like a marine layer kind of thing?
It's crazy. I mean, I grew up here, and I don't actually ever remember having a time when there's been so much fog. I mean, usually it's a day or two, and it's in the morning, that marine layer, but it's so constant. It's like every day I'm driving to work, I'm like, ugh.
Oh, is it really visibility really low on your way in?
It's really bad, yeah.
Yes,
That's scary.
I totally agree. I don't remember this. I'm born and raised here too, that it's like this. I feel like we need Rich Marriott here to talk about and explain what is happening when this is going away, because it's depressing. It's already dark, and then you're hitting me with all this fog.
Yeah, see, I disagree with you, though, both of you. For me, I just, in my mind, know that January through March is basically completely gray all the time anyway. So I honestly, until Rebecca brought this up, I hadn't really noticed. However, there's a pretty shot of a sunrise, that I took the other day, and it was foggy. But one bright spot to point out today, I do believe today is the first post 5 p.m. sunset of the year. And I'm one of the people that really does not like a short day. I like the sun being out and stuff, so that's exciting.
That is good news. I actually don't mind the fog, to be honest. I think it's kind of cool and creepy.
It does make for some good pictures.
It does. Literally, I took a picture of the sun setting the other day, and literally with the cloud bank, and this, it looked like I was looking at Mordor, Lord of the Rings.
Mordor, yeah.
All right, speaking of visibility, have you all seen this? This reporter who was hit by a car live on TV. Don't worry, she's okay, but this is a moment that happened.
And now we're starting to experience, unfortunately, in freeze thaw, we see this, water main breaks.
Oh my gosh, I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay. I just got hit by a car, but I'm okay, Tim.
That's the first for you on TV, Tori.
Okay, I do not like to judge other folks on here because I know it's a hard job, but Tim's face was like, well, that just happened. I mean, your reporter was just hit, man.
I heard he didn't have a monitor, but I don't know if that's
okay.
I hope so, because that.
How do you not have a monitor?
I don't know. For those kinds of situations, you always need a monitor. Yeah. It is. It's kind of crazy, though, how the conversation changed around this. Like, when it first happened, everybody was like, go for that reporter for finishing her report. Like, awesome. But then everybody kind of came in, like a lot of the reporters, former reporters, field crews, and were like, why are we still doing this these days where you only send out like one person into the field because there's nobody watching your back for you?
So this is something that I've always been very passionate about as a reporter in the field, and I was in the field as a reporter for about 15 years, is that you should never ever be alone, especially when you're doing a live shot, because you're focusing on everything else. There's been so many times my photographer, who I've been working with, has saved me from danger, and vice versa. Right. You need two crews out there, especially at night. There's a road construction project. I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, it's a no-brainer. That was not a safe situation. And it is, and I will say the onus is on the crew out in the field to say, hey, I don't feel safe here. And it's up to the managers to say, hey, then you come back. But still, this whole concept of like, just keep going, it's not okay.
Yeah, and I think the reason why, as Rebecca was saying, at first people were like, oh, good for her for finishing. I think most people who don't work in broadcast news would have just assumed, like, of course, there's a camera person holding the camera there with that reporter doing the story. But, as we learned more, she was running her own live shot, and that is so much to try and do on your own. I mean, as a producer, I can't directly relate to that, but I understand what she's going through, and I just think a lot of people don't understand how some of these situations really work to bring you the news,
Yeah.
And the nature of a lot of these live shots, it is, if you're a morning reporter, it's typically dark outside. If you're reporting on a crash, you might be pretty close to the road. A lot of times it's, weather coverage, so you might have tree branches falling or all these kinds of things happening, and you're sitting there and you're trying to remember your script in your head. So that's one thing that you're thinking about, and you just don't necessarily have the awareness of the other things that are going on around you. It's treacherous.
You have to have something, because that's your job. When you're at your job, y'all, you're at your job or you're focusing, you're doing something, and you're focused, and like everything else around you is not, resonating. That's what it's like when you're there. I have all this information to give you. I've got to think of all these facts. I've got to get it out there and be accurate, and then describe the scene. So everything else is kind of cottony. And I'll tell you what, I was at a live shot a few years back in Seattle, and somebody was kind of pretending to hit me with their car. They jumped the curb.
Oh my
they didn't.
gosh.
I don't think they were actually going to hit me. But if it weren't for my photographer saying, "Amity, get back," I mean, who knows? Because
Yeah.
and this is the type of thing. If I was alone, no, I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
not safe.
I just wondered too, for that particular story, just so many decisions with that, to be out by yourself. Is that necessary to have that live shot? And I think when you're a younger reporter too, I can
That's a good
relate
point.
to
Is
that.
it
It's
necessary?
like you want to be out there, you want to jump up and continue your live shot. The show must go on. And to not kind of first think about your safety and everything else, I hope that this is a lesson for some younger reporters and people watching, to put their safety first and to raise their hand if they don't feel comfortable out doing something. And I really hope news managers across the country watching this change the game with this, because watching this over and over again, it's like, yeah, that initial thought, you're like, you go girl, get up and finish your shot. But then all of a sudden just this flood of kind of anger, like, why is she out there by herself in the dark to begin with?
It's a really gray area, I think, that it gets to a point where they always say to you, hey, if you don't feel comfortable, you don't have to go. And now, in my experience at King, if I've never felt comfortable, I've said to my manager, I'm not going, and they say, all right, where do you think is a safer spot for the story?
But as a young reporter,
But as a
it's
young
hard.
reporter,
it can be hard to
you
do
don't
that.
want to. You're scared. You don't know. And I mean, yes, I was seasoned when I came here.
Yeah.
Or
And-
well seasoned.
And we also have this tendency in this industry to, back in my day, I did all of these things and I got paid. Like it's this paying your dues kind of a thing. And I kind of hope that this helps change that attitude, because no one needs to pay these dues.
Joseph, you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, and I'm just really glad that reporter is, uninjured and safe. But yeah, I hope the concept of paying your dues should change, because yes, you do need, every industry you have to pay your dues, but are your dues safe? Like for me, starting out as a producer, I had to work really, unpleasant hours overnight and everything, and it was tough in that way, but it never put my personal safety at risk, which I think is a very different thing that maybe the news industry will hopefully think about more.
Well, let's hope so, because truly, I know that things are changing, finances are changing, they're trying to have tighter budgets, but human life is just, it's very, very important to protect. And so hopefully, I'm sure that TV station will be making some changes.
Hopefully.
All right, well, hey, listen, our Hot Topics panel is going to be back later in the show with thoughts on scammers and one grandma who fought back. You're going to love it.